So for the last couple of years, the whole story in AI has been about making models smarter, right? But what if the next massive leap isn't just about knowing more stuff, but about actually doing more stuff? That's the huge idea we're going to get into today, with a new model that's built not just to talk, but to actually act.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. I want you to really think about this for a second. What is the actual fundamental difference between a chatbot you can have a conversation with and a true digital assistant that gets things done for you?
Well, the answer really boils down to this super powerful concept called agentic reasoning. And this isn't about just having knowledge in its head. It's all about action. It's about planning, using tools, and learning as it goes. It's like the difference between hiring a consultant who just gives you a bunch of advice and hiring a skilled apprentice who can literally pick up a wrench, read a manual, and help you fix the engine. And look, this visual just nails that shift perfectly. Over on the left, you've got your classic chatbot. It's a conversational partner. But on the right, you've got an agent, an active participant, a doer. It's that massive jump from just talking about a problem to actually getting its hands dirty and working on a solution.
Okay, so if this is the dream, right, why aren't these powerful agents just everywhere already? Well, that gets us to the core problem that the research team at Meituan was banging their heads against. Their war story, you could call it, was that the AIs we have now are incredibly book smart, but they have absolutely zero street smarts.
And man, I love this quote because it is just so brutally honest. It perfectly captures that feeling that anyone who's tried to use AI for a really complex task knows. These models, they're geniuses in a controlled lab setting. But the second you put them in the real world, they just shatter. The moment something unexpected happens, the whole thing just falls apart.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Why do they shatter? Well, for one, they have the memory of a goldfish. Give them a task with more than a few steps and they get totally lost. Then, if an unexpected error pops up, forget it. They just freeze up, they can't troubleshoot. But honestly, the biggest problem, the real killer, it was the data. Finding good examples of an AI actually navigating these messy real-world problems was like finding a needle in a haystack. There was almost nothing for them to learn from.
And this, right here, is where the LongCat team started to get super clever. Their solution kicked off with a totally new way of thinking about training. They basically realized if they couldn't find a good digital apprentice out there, well, they'd just have to build one from the ground up.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, they just dumped a gazillion more terabytes of data into it? But nope, that's not what happened here. The secret wasn't just more data. The real breakthrough was inventing a completely new kind of data, the kind that could actually teach an AI how to act.
So they came up with this brilliant two-part strategy. On one side, you've got text-driven synthesis. That's where they scraped human knowledge from things like online tutorials. But the problem is, that stuff can be flaky. So they combined it with something they called environment-grounded synthesis. Here, they generated tasks inside a live Python environment, which guaranteed that every single training example was logical, functional, and actually worked in the real world.
And the payoff? It was absolutely massive. I mean, just look at this chart. See that green enhanced line? That's the model they trained on this new data, and it is consistently just crushing the baseline. This new approach gave the AI a huge head start on learning not just how to think, but how to do.
Okay, so the apprentice has read all the new textbooks. Now it's time for some real on-the-job training. The second part of their solution was all about building resilience, teaching the AI how to survive the absolute chaos of the real world.
Honestly, the best way to think about what they did next is this. They basically built a video game for the AI to master. But we're not talking about something simple. It was this incredibly complex game that just kept getting harder and harder, constantly throwing new curveballs at the AI to force it to learn and get better.
And they didn't just build one little game here. No way. They engineered this incredible automated system that could spin up thousands of these complex virtual training worlds. We're talking over 20 different domains with, get this, 32,000 environments running at the same time. The scale is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around.
Okay, but this might be the most genius part of the whole thing. They didn't just train the AI in these perfect, clean little sandboxes. They deliberately injected these training worlds with bugs, with noise, with random errors. They literally taught the AI to expect things to go wrong and to figure out how to recover. That's how you build real street smarts.
All right, so the model is well-trained, and it's tough, it's resilient.
But what do you do about those exceptionally difficult problems, the ones that seem almost impossible? For that, they built one last feature, a special mode they call heavy thinking.
So simply put, heavy thinking mode is what the AI kicks into gear when it hits a really hard wall. Now, the techie description says it expands reasoning width and depth. Okay, cool. So what on earth does that actually mean?
It's actually pretty cool how it works. Width means it explores a whole bunch of different possible solutions all at the same time. Then depth means it takes the most promising of those solutions and just refines them over and over and over. It's like a chess grandmaster who's not just thinking about their next move, but is simultaneously simulating dozens of entire games from that point on to pick the absolute best path forward.
All right, so let's recap. We've got this wild three-part solution: revolutionary new training data, chaotic real-world training grounds, and the special heavy thinking mode for the really tough problems. But did all of that incredible engineering actually pay off? Well, let's take a look at the numbers.
And boom, here's the payoff. These are the benchmark results against all the other top open source models. I mean, just look at those green bars. LongCat isn't just a little bit better here. On these kinds of tasks, it is setting a completely new bar for what's possible. Let's just run through some of these wins rapid fire. On this key benchmark for complex tool use, 2 square bench, an incredible 88.2%. I mean, that's just dominant.
Okay, how about using tools to browse the web and pull together information? On the BrowseComp benchmark, 73.1%, again, just way out in front of everybody else.
So when you zoom out, what's the big picture here? Yeah, the numbers are impressive, but they're pointing to something way more important. This isn't just another chatbot that got a slightly higher score on a test. This is a really meaningful step toward that true digital apprentice, an AI that can be a real partner in getting things done.
And that really just leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. If you actually had an AI that could genuinely think, plan, and act in our messy, chaotic world, what complex problem would you set it loose on? I'd love to hear your ideas. Let us know what you think.